Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Cambly family. Hello, everyone. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Let me know. It is great to be with all of you today. I hope you can see everything clearly. This is great. I'd love to see you all. This is wonderful. Well, hello, everybody. I am teacher or tutor Greg. It is nice to see all of you. If you can hear me, just let me know. What is your name? Where are you from? And I would love to know, what type of music do you like? What type of music do you like to listen to? What kind of music? All right, let's see. Who do we have here today? Oh, good morning from Brazil. Hello. All right, good morning. So yeah, tell me, where are you from and what kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like to listen to? Let's see. All right, hello from Sri Lanka. All right. South Korea, I love listening to BTS music. Wonderful. Pakistan, hello. All right, from Dashkin, nice to see you. Wonderful. It's great to see everybody here. This is so wonderful. I love being here with you on a nice Sunday, whether it's good morning or good afternoon or good evening. Like listening to good music. That's great. Hello from Malaysia. Hi, Alvin from the Philippines. Hello. Sri Lanka. Hi, UK. Wonderful. A good afternoon. Yes, I see it's afternoon. It is morning here where I am in the United States. It is morning time. All right, Pakistan, hello. Hi, everybody. All right, it's great to see you all. We'll wait a couple more minutes, let a couple more people come in, filter through. All right, hello from Korea. All right, hello from Taiwan. Good evening. It is evening time. All right, Bangladesh, it's great to see you. Hello from India in the evening. All right, Sri Lanka again. Yes, it's wonderful. I've got a couple people from Sri Lanka today. That's great to see. Italy, wonderful. Hello, Italy. Hello, Indonesia. All right. Excellent. It's great to see all of you. I hope you're having a wonderful day and evening and morning. Hello, Pakistan. All right. India, Indonesian, wonderful. It's great to see everybody. All right. So, my name is Tutor Greg or Teacher Greg. It is great to see all of you. I am from the United States, so it is morning where I am. It is 10 o'clock in the morning, so it's a nice, beautiful day today. Hopefully it's a beautiful day where you are as well. It's great to see everybody. So today we are going to be talking about a favorite topic of mine, and that is rhymes and rhyming. So we're going to talk about these two topics. We're going to kind of touch the surface level. There is a lot to learn about with rhymes and rhyming, and it takes a lot of practice. But we are going to kind of touch on it today, and you can keep working on this as you continue learning English. So it's a little bit more of an advanced topic today. So if you have any questions or you want to go back and re-watch this video again, you can do that anytime on the Cambly Live YouTube channel. You can rewatch any of this video or dozens of other videos covering all sorts of topics. So today our lesson is going to be a little bit more advanced, like I just said. So if your English is not good, that's not a problem. This is a great starting point and a good way to kind of understand how words and pronunciation work. Because rhymes is all about the pronunciation of the words themselves, because that's how we make a rhyme. So before we start, what is a rhyme? Let's talk about how we use rhymes and when we use rhymes. So oftentimes, rhymes are considered in terms of poems. Okay, we often have poems. You see, there's tons of different types of poems. There's haikus, there are limericks, there are ballads, there are epic poems, but poems in general often use rhymes. They use rhymes throughout. Music. The reason why I asked what your favorite music is today is because music often has rhymes. Many, many different types of music have rhymes. So they will have different lyrics that will rhyme together. Artistic writing. When you're writing artistically, people will use rhymes because they will use rhymes to make sure that their writing sounds more interesting, that it sounds more artistic. And we will also use rhymes for memory retention or remembering something. Because when you rhyme something, you will remember it easier. So if I have something to try to remember, I'll think, oh, how can I use a rhyme together to think about it, okay? So that's how we would use it. And lastly, for comedy, for jokes, for making people laugh, we will use rhymes. So we will use them to make people laugh. Comedians, here in America, stand-up comedy is a very big thing, and people will use rhymes during their stand-up comedy routines. Okay. So now we have our uses for rhymes, right? We have poems, we have music, artistic writing, memory, and comedy. And there's also many more reasons you could use a rhyme, but those are some common reasons that we will rhyme. What is a rhyme? Well, a rhyme is an agreement between two words or more and their sounds. Okay, so an agreement between two words and their sounds. So when we say that, we're going to think about what sound the word makes, especially the stressed vowel. So let's talk about that. So there's two different types of rhymes. There is a perfect rhyme, okay, a perfect rhyme, which has identical stressed vowel sounds, okay? And typically this is the last syllable that we're stressing, and it is the identical sound, okay? So if we have some perfect rhymes here, okay? So let's look at these. Clear, near. So this identical stressed vowel is the ear, clear, near, right? These are identical stressed sounds, right? Right here in the ear, okay? So the same could be for soap, hope, soap, hope. So this is the stressed vowel sound is identical, okay? Even though it ends in different words, they are the same stressed vowel sound, okay? Right here, sight, flight, okay? Sight, flight. Ooh, true, boo. True, boo. All right, see the stressed vowel, right? Exactly. The stressed vowel here is the exact same in the words. Last one, bed, said, ed. Okay? Those are the same sounding vowel sounds. Okay? That last stressed, and I want to make it important, it's the stressed vowel. Because you can have a word with multiple syllables, but the last stressed one is what is going to make it rhyme, okay? And these are perfect rhymes. They're perfect rhymes. So because they have the same sounds, okay? So if you notice about a lot of these words, right, all of these words, the ones that rhyme are going to have similar endings in them and similar words, right? This is clear, E-A-R, okay? O-P, GHT, right? This one's different because of how it sounds, right? True, boo, right? We have shit. So shop and hope are a little different because op, because remember, polish and abolish, very good. Yes, polish, abolish, because those are going to be perfect rhymes. However, Harry and Mary, very good. Yes, it's the same stressed word. Harry, Mary, very good. Okay, so the other type of rhyme we have, though, is what's called an imperfect rhyme or a slant rhyme. So these rhymes, right, they're a little different because they are similar, but they're not identical, right? These are not identical sounds. So I saw up there, right, I saw someone in the chat said, orange and orange. So these would not be perfect rhymes because the stressed syllables are different, okay? Orange, arrange. They have the range part the same, but the stressed syllable is different. So improving and dying, right? They have the ying part, but improve, dying. So they're not perfect rhymes. However, they are imperfect. Imperfect rhymes, which is also a rhyme, but they're different types of rhymes. So imperfect, right? Similar, but not identical. So we're gonna have two things we look at with imperfect rhymes. We're gonna have consonants, okay? Consonants, which have the same consonants in it, right? They had, C, D, F, G, H, right? Those are consonants. They're going to have the same consonant sounds in there, but different vowel sounds, okay? Different vowel sounds, the same consonants. Or we can have assonance, which is the same vowel sounds, but different consonants, okay? So let's look at examples of that. So if we have imperfect rhymes with consonants, right? Worm, swarm, okay? Worm, swarm. They have the same consonants here, right? We have a W, an R, and an M, right? W, R, M. But they have different stressed vowels. Warm, swarm, arm. Swarm, warm. So they're different sounds, but they're similar, and that's why they're an imperfect rhyme, okay? Or we have pitter, patter, right? Pitter, patter. This is I and A, but they have very similar consonants, okay? Or we have escaped and scooped, right? Similar consonants, but different stressed vowels. So they're not perfect, but they are imperfect, okay? Sweet and sweat, very good. Those would be imperfect because it's E and E. Because remember, the important thing to remember here with these rhymes is how are they pronounced, okay? How are they pronounced? If we have assonance, we have hat and bad. It's A and A. However, the ending pronunciation of the consonants are different, right? These A and bad are different, right? Hat, bad. But they have similar vowel sounds, okay? Crate and braid. Crate, braid. Very good. Created and rabid, right? Created, rabid. A and A. There's similar sounds, but different, okay? So these imperfect rhymes, there are thousands of imperfect rhymes, right? Thousands of imperfect rhymes because they can follow a different, there are much more, right? Perfect rhymes, there are a lot less perfect rhymes because you have to have the same sounds with them. Imperfect rhymes, there are tons of them. So in music, when we listen to music, there are a lot of imperfect rhymes, okay? But there are also a lot of perfect rhymes. Let's look at, does anyone know who Billie Eilish is? Does anyone know who Billie Eilish is? Let's see if we know who Billie Eilish is, the singer. So the singer Billie Eilish does this here, right? Say we have white shirt, now red, right? Singing on your sleeping on your tippy toes, right? Creeping around like no one knows. You're so criminal, right? That's a word from her songs. That's bad guy. But we have red, right? Tippy toes, no one knows, right? We're rhyming these here. And that's how we do this in these songs, right? We rhyme them all the time because it makes it catchy, it makes it interesting, right? That's what rhyming is for. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a test here, okay? So we have perfect rhyme, identical, stressed, okay? We have imperfect, similar, but not identical. So let's look at this word, okay? If I have the word net and jet, is this a perfect or imperfect rhyme? Is this perfect or imperfect? Net, jet. Perfect or imperfect? Net and jet. Okay. Excellent. I'm seeing perfect. Yes, it's a perfect rhyme. Very good. This is a perfect rhyme. Net, jet. because we have the same stressed vowel sound, eh, and the same consonant. Net, jet. Net, jet. Very good, very good. It is a perfect rhyme. Excellent. Very good. And words like this, right? Net, jet, fret, bet. There's a lot of different words that rhyme perfectly with these two words. Okay? Net, jet, bet, pet. Right? Very good. Okay. So let's look at the next one. Is this a perfect or imperfect? Let's see. Is this perfect or imperfect? Piper, diaper. Piper, diaper. Is this perfect or imperfect? Piper, diaper. Perfect or imperfect? Piper, diaper. I'm seeing a lot of different ones here, imperfect and perfect. Let's listen to the stressed syllable, right? Piper, diaper, iper, right? It's a perfect rhyme. It's a perfect rhyme because we have iper, piper, diaper. Even though we have an A here, right? We have an A, so it looks different, but the way it is pronounced is the same. So we have a perfect rhyme. We have piper, diaper. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter necessarily how it is spelled. It matters how it is pronounced, and that is what will make the rhyme. So we have, so even an example here, cat and eat are not perfect rhymes because they have a different pronunciation, right? Exactly. So this is a perfect rhyme. Piper, diaper. Piper, diaper. Very good. Perfect rhyme. Okay. It's how it sounds. Very good. Exactly. All right. Let's take a look at another one. Rough, though. Is this perfect or imperfect? Rough, though. Rough and though. Perfect or imperfect? What do we have here? Let's see, do they sound the same? Are they identical stressed sounds? Rough, though. Rough and though. Is that perfect or imperfect? All right, yes, I'm seeing a lot of imperfects there. That's excellent. Imperfect. Very good, because even though we have the same sounds here, right? O-U-T-H. O-U-T-H. It should seem perfect, but it's not. But it's not because it's pronounced differently, right? Rough, though, oh, right? They're pronounced differently, so they are not perfect rhymes. They're not perfect rhymes. Very good, very good. Okay, I saw one question in here that I want to address real fast. We have a question of, is coat and vote a perfect rhyme? Oat, they are perfect rhymes. Coat and vote is a perfect rhyme. Great question. Okay, so the pronunciations matter. Yes, exactly. The pronunciation is very important in a rhyme. Okay, let's look at this next one. Bear, hair. Bear, hair. Is this perfect or imperfect? Bear, hair. Bear and hair. Let's see, perfect or imperfect? Bear, hair. They're spelled very differently, right? E-A-R, A-I-R, very different. But they are perfect rhymes. They are perfect rhymes because of the way they're stressed. Bear, air. Very good. They're perfect because of their stress. How we stress them. Bear and hair. Very good. And I want to point out, this is American English. So in British English and English around the whole world, Australian English, English in India, it's going to be a little bit different because of the pronunciation. But these pronunciations are going to be, this is for all American English, okay? Just so you know these rhymes here. These are all American English rhymes. So that's perfect. Now let's look at one more, right? Let's look at another example, okay? Rose, lose. Rose, lose. See, rose, lose. Rose, lose. What do we have here? We have an imperfect rhyme because they seem like they should rhyme, right? Rose and lose, but they are imperfect. But they are imperfect because we have an O, rose, and an oo in lose, right? Rose, lose. They look very similar. However, how they are pronounced, they are an imperfect rhyme. Very good. Yes, you are correct. Imperfect. Very good. Okay. So these are rhymes, right? This is taking two words and making them rhyme. Let's try. I want you to try one on your own, okay? I want you to try one real quick. Can you make a rhyme with toss? Okay? I want you to make a perfect rhyme with toss. Toss. Can we rhyme toss? What is a perfect rhyme with toss? Remember, it's an toss. Perfect. I'm seeing one. Moss. Yes, moss rhymes with toss. What else rhymes with toss? Loss. Very good. Cross. Boss. Very good. Excellent. Okay, boss. Very good. Toss. Excellent. Hoss. That would rhyme. Cross. Very good. These are perfect rhymes because of the We want an os. Gloss. Loss. So, good question. So, mass, right? That's an a. So, we would want, it'd have to be a moss. Very good. Very good. Loss. All right, excellent. Okay, let's try one more. How about this one? Dream. 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 What can we rhyme with dream? Yes, cross is correct. Good. Dream. Dream. What can we use? Cream. Seam. Good. Cream. Stream. Very good. Dream and cream rhyme. Very good. You're seeing that eam, right? That stressed sound. Lean. Very good. Very good. Scream. Yes, scream. Lean. So lime. Be careful with lime because it needs an e, an eam sound. Very good. Scream. Yes. Cream. Very good. Excellent. Very good job. Green. Yes, green rhymes with dream. Good. Okay. Perfect. So we have our perfect rhymes and our imperfect rhymes. Okay? Perfect and imperfect. We're going to focus a lot today on perfect. As you've noticed, we're focusing on perfect rhymes. Okay? If you want to work more on imperfect rhymes, your Cambly tutor should definitely be able to help with that. Okay? Different pronunciation. We want the same pronunciation with these perfect rhymes. So let's now take a look at rhyming, okay? So rhyming is different than a rhyme, right? So a rhyme, we just focus on two words, okay? Two words that are the same, right? Stream, dream. Those are rhymes, okay? Rhyming, though, is a little bit different because we are going to create a statement, right? We have a full statement. Okay, in which two or more words rhyme, okay? So we have a statement, a meaningful statement where two or more words are going to rhyme together, right? They're going to typically be at the end of a phrase, okay? So the end of the phrase, so we have a full phrase, right? Like, I like my boss, okay? I like my boss. That is a phrase. because we always play toss, right? That's how we rhyme there. We go, right? So we're going to use a full meaningful statement. And the important part there is meaningful. Okay? So I'm going to give you an example, right, of a rhyme based on one of my favorite songs by Kanye West. Okay? Do you know who Kanye West is? All right. So he says that'll kill me can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now. I can't wait much longer. Okay? These are meaningful. These are meaningful phrases, right? We have stronger here and longer. They are perfect rhymes, right? They are perfect rhymes in a meaningful sentence. Okay? That doesn't kill me, can only make me stronger, right? I need you to hurry up now. I can't wait much longer, right? These two words are going to rhyme, and this all makes sense, right? It has to be meaningful. Very good. It has to be meaningful. Okay. So in these rhymes, right? In these rhymes, there's many different ways of making them. Okay? Here are just some examples, right? We'll just have some examples that we will go through of how these rhymes work. So they are not only used in poems, right? Rhymes are used in music, right? We talked about Billie Eilish, we talked about Kanye West. Those are both musicians who rhyme, okay? They're used a lot of times in just creative writing, right? If you're writing a story, you can use rhymes, right? These rhymes are used all of the time. So let's look at one rhyme called a monorhyme, okay? A monorhyme has the same rhyme at the end word every time, okay? So I'll show you what I mean. The same word every time. So I want to see the sun. We always play and have fun. Playing till the day is done. I have no worries, none. Okay? So here, if you notice, right, we have a perfect rhyme with sun every time. Sun, fun, done, none, right? This is the same word that we're rhyming with. And we're going to keep it with making sense, right? So I want to see the sun, right? We always play and have fun. Playing till the day is done, I have no worries, none. So this is a poem, right? But it has the same rhyme every time. Boom, boom, boom. It's called a monorhyme, right? Mono means one, right? Mono is one rhyme. You're the same rhyme every time, okay? So this is a monorhyme. Very good. And remember, notice how all of these sentences make sense, right? Right, so if it means a sentence ends with a rhyme, then we can call it rhyming. Yeah, yes, exactly. If you have sentences, right, and the last word ends with a rhyme, that is rhyming. Very good, exactly. And there's different ways of rhyming, right? This is just one way, a monorhyme. The next way we can call is a couplet. Okay, a couplet, we have, if you notice here, I have A, right? That means all the end of the word all the end of the sentence ends with the same rhyming word. A couplet here, we have A, B. So the first two sentences are going to rhyme, and then the next two sentences. So I'll show you. As an example, look to the sky, birds flying high. I see them in the trees, leaves waving in the breeze. Okay? So these two, right? A, right? A rhyme and B. Because if you look, we have A, and B. Okay, so I'll show you. So we have A, right? And B. A rhymes with A, B rhymes with B. Very good. So this is a couplet. Okay, this is a couplet type of rhyme. Okay, so we also have what's known as alternating. Okay, we have an alternating rhyme, A, B, A, B. So we can look at that and have something like, I love listening to bands. My favorite is rock and roll. I shout and wave my hands. This music fills my soul. Okay? Yes, looking at the sequencing of rhyming. Very good. This is the sequencing, right? So we have, right, this is A, and this is A. This is B, and this is B, because we have roll, soul. We have bands, hands. So we're going to use this. This is how we alternate rhymes, right? A lot of musicians will alternate. A lot of musicians alternate their rhymes because they want to make sure they don't have the same rhyme on every single sentence, right? You can alternate them and make it sound a little bit more creative. Very good, very good. Okay, so this is alternating rhymes. All right, let's look at the sandwich, right? We can have a sandwich rhyme where we have the first A, and then we have two sentences that rhyme, and then another one that rhymes with the first one. Okay? Yes, rhyming is a little bit confusing. It is a little bit confusing, but remember, right? We're taking what we started with, right? A rhyme, and we're putting it into a sentence, right? Okay. I see we have there. We'll get to that one next, right? That's the ballad, a ballad or a sonnet. We'll get to that next. So next we have a sandwich, though, right? My name is Harry. I like to go to school. I learn every grammar rule. Now English isn't scary. Okay? So, right, so we have these different rhymes, right? My name is Harry. I like to go to school. I learn every grammar rule. Now English isn't scary. So these two, right? The last and first one. Oh, I see we have a Harry in the chat. Excellent. Excellent, Harry. I'm glad that we could have, that you like to go to school. That's very good. Okay, so we have the first one and the last one are both rhyming, and the middle two rhyme. And we call this the sandwich, right? Because we have the two buns on top, right? And then all the fillings in the center. Very good. This is the sandwich. Okay. So these, right? These monorhyme, couplet, alternating sandwich, these are different rhymes that are used all throughout, right? All throughout the different, in music, in poems, in writing, in comedy. These are typical ones we use. So these other two, right? A ballad and a limerick are two types of poems that we use. And it's a rhyming scheme that's very specific. Okay, it's a very specific rhyming scheme. These can be changed in and out, right? You can have a mono one, you can have a couplet, you can alternate, all the choices, right? But these two are very specific as types of poems. So let's look at the ballad, okay? So a ballad poem, we have A, B, B, C, B, C. So see, what would it be called if the first sentence would be my name is Jules? So in that question, we have that would be the start of a poem, all right, or the start of a sentence. You would just have to rhyme jewels with tools or fools or spools or pools, right? That would be the next word, the next line, or you could alternate, and it would just depend. You would just know that jewels is what is going to be, you're starting with A, okay? So importantly, if we look at these words, right, whatever we're starting with, right, whatever this last word is in the one, that is your A, right? And then your next one could still be, it could go along with that, or it could change, okay? Very good. And you've heard the word rhyme a lot in music. There's a different meaning in music. Nope, rhyme is the same thing in music as it is that we're talking about here, right? That is rhymes. Those are all the same rhymes. Very good. And if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat and I will get to them. Absolutely. All right. So let's take a look at our ballad, okay? So we have, there once were two spies. They always fought. They told everyone lies. Okay, so here's our A, right? Our A here is spies. We have A as spies, right? And we have fought is our B, okay? Good. So we have, there once were two spies, they always fought. They told everyone lies, but one day they made a plot, okay? So we have A, so we have A, B. So then we're gonna go to B again, right? We're gonna use B again. So we're gonna rhyme with our original B, which was fought. So we have one would pretend to be shot. Okay, one would pretend to be shot. Then they would sneak away. So we started a new one, right? This is our first time we've seen a C, right? So now we have C because we have a different word, right? So we have A, B, and C, right? So then we can use that when we see that, right? So we have A, B, B, C, back to B, and then C. Then they would sneak away. No one would suspect the thought. Now they relax all day. Good. Okay? So this is a ballad, okay? This is the specific rhyming scheme. A, B, B, C, B, C. Okay? This is just one way of rhyming, right? Because what I want to show you and what the purpose of showing this is that we can rhyme and use up to many different words in a row, right? We can see different words, A, B, C, A, B. There's no perfect way to do a rhyme. There's no way that it must be done. There's tons and tons of ways to do it. But this is one very, very old and particular way of rhyming called a ballad. And it's usually just a poem. It's just a poem. Some people will sing them. You can use them as songs, okay? But that's a ballad. Very good. Okay. If I want to write a poem and use different sequence other than those, what would you name? Oh, well, there's many different types of sequences that we can use. We have ballads, we have limericks, there are sonnets, there are haikus, there are epic poems. There's a whole bunch of different ones. If you want to write an easy poem in English, try a couplet or an alternating, right? These are different ways you can do it because we have A, B, but even after the couplet, right, we can do A, B, but then we can go C, D, right? You can repeat with new words, right? You don't have to keep going A, B. You can go A, B, C, right? And use these different words every time. Very good. Okay, besides the lake, beneath the tree, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. It's rhyming. Yeah. So tree and breeze wouldn't quite rhyme. That would be an imperfect rhyme, right? That'd be imperfect, tree and breeze. But it's a good practice, very good practice. Making sure, the important thing with these rhyming, right? These sentences have to make sense, right? They can't just be words. They have to be the same, right? I always thought rhyming should be like A. Nope. So that is one way of rhyming, right? That's one type of rhyming, but there's all certain types of rhyming, right? You can do many different kinds. It doesn't just have to be the same word every time, always at the end, right? Like if I have the word grow, I don't have to use only grow. I can use many different words as we go along. Very good. Okay, so let's look at our last type, okay? And it's called a limerick, okay? It's a very specific type of poem called a limerick. So we have, here's an example. Once a man jumped off a wall, right? He had a terrible fall. He went to bed with a bump on his head. That's why you don't jump at all, okay? So this one's usually more of a fun poem, right? It kind of rolls off the tongue. There once was a man who jumped off a wall. He had a terrible fall. He went to bed with a bump on his head, and that's why you don't jump at all, right? So it has a little bit more of a song sound to it, okay? And that's a limerick. So this is a very fun way to write a poem that you can write. or you can even sing it if you choose to. So I wanted to show you, these are 6 different ways that you can make a rhyming scheme, okay? Just different ways you can actually do rhyming, right? So let's practice. The important part is that it has to make sense, right? It has to be a meaningful statement, right? This must be meaningful. Okay, so let's take a look at an example, all right? And I want you to help me here, right? Right, I want you to help me here. So we're going to have you fill in the blank here, right? My favorite season is fall. It is the best of, how do we finish this? How do we finish this? How do we finish this? My favorite season is fall. It is the best. How can we finish that? All, yes. Very good. It is the best of all. Because we want to rhyme fall. Is there any other words we could use? So we have to use something that makes sense, right? My favorite season is fall. It is the best of all. Very good. Very good. Okay, excellent, excellent. That's very good. All, very good. Okay. So now let's take a look at one more. Let's try another one. You fill in the blank, okay? Fill in the blank here. Okay. I want to go to bed and lay down and rest my, how do we finish this? I want to go to bed, lay down and rest my, Good. Head. Very good. I see on there head. Yes. So I see leg, but we would want to rhyme it with bed, right? So, I see brain. Very good. Okay. So we want to make sure we have something that rhymes with bed. So we have head. Very good. Head. Right? Excellent. Head. Okay. So I want to go to bed and rest my head. Very good, very good. Rest my head. Okay? Excellent, excellent. So this is how we're going to continue these rhymes, right? Bed, head, right? We want to make sure they rhyme. They have to rhyme there, right? So they have to have the same sound, right? A perfect sound here, right? Stressed vowel sound. Very good. Head. Okay. So before we go on, I had one other question. And the question was, in rhyming, do we have to follow a rhyme scheme to write a poem? So poems are oftentimes very free form, and you can do whatever you'd like for them, right? If you want to do a specific type of poem, you do have to follow the poem form. So if you want to do a ballad, you have to follow the ballad form. If you want to write a limerick, you have to follow the limerick form. But if you want to do a free form poem, you can do an alternating. You could do a monorhyme, you can do a couplet, you can do whatever you'd like to write a poem. There's no wrong way to write a poem, but you do have to follow one of these forms if you have a very specific type of poem you'd like to write. So great question, great question. Okay, so before I let you go today, we're going to try something, okay? I have a sentence here, right? I want you to do a monorhyme and give me the next line in the sentence, okay? The next line in the sentence. I want something new, okay? Give me the next line in the sentence. I want something new. I want something new. Okay, how do we rhyme this? Give me one more sentence. It has to make sense. Has to make sense. Okay? So, I want something new. So it has to be a meaningful statement. Good. What can we use? What can we use? Remember, we're rhyming with new here. Okay, we're rhyming with new. Good. Okay, so that is a bottle of dew. Excellent, right? Because dew rhymes with new. What else would we like to do? I want something new. I'd like to surprise you. Perfect. Very good. Very good. Because it's making sense, right? I'd like to surprise you. I'd like to make my mind new. So good. Be careful though, because new and new are the same word. So we want to make sure we don't use the same word. But very good. I'd like to make my mind new. Very good. Okay. I like that. That's meaningful. That makes sense. Excellent. All right. Let's try. What else can we do? What else can we do here? I want something new. What can we use here? I want something new. Let's see. All right, let's see. What else could we use? Something that would rhyme. Something that rhymes here. Chew would work, right? I want something new. Maybe something I can chew. Very good, very good. Okay. That doesn't make me few. Very good. Excellent. Okay. That doesn't make me few. Maybe we would make a few different things. We'd have another rhyme there. Excellent. My cat says mew. That cat that says mew. Okay. Okay. That would be a different kind of new. Something that is true. I want to see a different view. Very good. Fantasy do. All right, excellent. Okay, so that doesn't make me flew. So we have to be careful with our grammatical part right there, right? So we want to make sure, because flew is past tense, but this would be present tense. I want and flew. So make sure your tenses are the same. But good job. Okay, I need something like chew. Okay, good. Or flew. Okay. Oh yes, excellent. Oh, very good. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good. Excellent work. Okay. So let's try one more. Okay. All right. Let's try one more. Very good job. Okay. My friend liked my post. Okay. My friend liked my post. So remember here, we have liked. We're going to be using past tense here. My friend liked my post. Okay, my friend liked my post. Let's do another rhyme, another mono rhyme that works with that. What's the next line we could use? My friend liked my post. What could we rhyme? Remember, we're rhyming with post here. So the next line, the last word has to rhyme with post. Okay, yet it was like a ghost. Very good, okay? Because we have post and ghost rhyming. Very good. Very good. So that's how we're putting that rhyme on the last word of the phrase. Very good. Okay? Good. Okay. So what can we rhyme with post? So remember, it's an ost. So we have to have that st sound too. Post, ghost. Okay? So he was my favorite host. Very good. Okay? Excellent. So when we have there, we have nose, right? So nose wouldn't quite rhyme with post, right? Because we have to have this, we have an O's, nose, we have an O, post, but it has to have that st sound, because nose would be an imperfect rhyme. Very good. So cheers and let's have toast. Excellent, very good. Okay. Okay, let's see. Because I did something different. Okay, he was my favorite host. Very good. She loved hose. Okay, so remember, we would have to have that T at the end. But I don't want to boast. Very good. Very good. So that she loved hose is okay. Like the hose, like a garden hose. But the problem is you have to have that T sound at the end, right? It has to be a st sound to be a perfect rhyme. But that would be a good alternative or imperfect or slant rhyme. Very good. All right, excellent. Remember, we're rhyming post with whatever that last word is. Very good. He could be lost, okay? So it's close, yeah, post and lost. So post and lost are imperfect rhymes, which is good because we have a lost, and ost. Very good. And shot is going to be similar to an imperfect rhyme there too. Good. Okay. So post, we have ghost, we could have most, we could have host, we could have toast, right? Very good. We could have boast. Very good. Excellent. Okay. So we're given a lot of these rhymes. So remember that rhyme has to be an Oast, oast, coast, yes, coast, very good. Okay, excellent job, everybody. Excellent job with these rhymes. That was really, really good. These are hard. This is a difficult concept, but you did a very, very good job. Okay, so I want to remind everyone, let's do a quick recap, right? We have a lot of uses for them, right? We have poems, music, comedy, retention, writing, right? These are uses for our rhymes, right? Our rhyme, right? We have perfect rhymes where they have the exact same last syllable sound, right? The identical stressed syllable, right? Identical stressed syllable. We have imperfect rhymes where they are similar but not the same, right? We have consonants and assonants with our imperfect rhymes, right? Rhymes that either have the same consonants in there or the same vowels, okay? Consonants and assonants and imperfect rhymes. We focused a lot today on perfect rhymes, okay? Identical stressed sounds. And then when we use these rhymes, we make a rhyme, we do rhyming, right? We make rhyming afterwards because we create a meaningful statement, right? Meaningful statement with 2 or more words in a rhyme. So we have our 6 different types, right? And remember, we can do any one of these types to make a poem, to make a song, to make whatever we would like to make. We can use any one of these, okay? And if we want a specific type of poem, though, we have to follow the specific structure like these 2, okay? So this is an introduction to rhymes and rhyming. Remember, this is a difficult subject, and it might take a lot of time and a lot of practice, but it's a lot of fun, and you hear them all the time in your songs and in your writings. So keep practicing on them. I want to let you know, if you are new to Cambly, you can go ahead and use the Go Live code. It'll have it at our YouTube channel, and you can get up to 36% off with any of your tutors. Thank you so much for spending today with me. If you missed any of this class or you want to see any more classes, you can go to the Cambly YouTube Live channel and the Cambly channel, and they have this lesson. They have dozens of other lessons as well by wonderful tutors who can help you out and give you all sorts of tips and tricks, whether you're new or whether you are have been studying English for a long time. This can be all very helpful. And there's a lot more that are not necessarily as complicated as this one that you can work on. So thank you so much for coming out today. Have a wonderful day. It was great to spend the time with you. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.